Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for July 12th, 2025. We have a full random kingdom as it is Saturday. We've got Moneylender is the only trashing other than Prize Goat. If we pull that, so no estate trashing. We got lots of plus actions: Curse Village, Wealthy Village, Ghost Town. But not a ton of draw. Although, well, actually, there is storeroom. So well, I should say, first of all, yeah, Faithful Hound, more standard draw, although not, definitely not the strongest where that's concerned. Although there is also Lost Arts, which makes, just spamming these potentially more appealing. Also, there's a lot of plus actions. So that's potentially a thing. But we've also got storeroom, so Storeroom is kind of a nice draw to X enabler because you can turn things like the estates that you can't trash into money, reduce your hand size, and then draw back up. And Cursed Village, it's like City Quarter Storeroom is kind of the most notable synergy there, where City Quarter isn't actually draw to X, but it where like you can get a really big hand size, discard a whole bunch of cards, and then draw them all back up. Cursed Village Storeroom, though, is still, the Cursed Village is still giving you the plus actions. Like, there's a lot of draw to X cards that are terminal, where, doing draw to X with Storeroom is very intensive on your terminal space. But in this case, we at least have the plus actions right there with the draw to X. So that's something worth considering. Although it is also worth noting that, like, if we want to play with Sack of Loot or Wealthy Village, that doesn't fit together super well with the storeroom draw, because you can only, the Cursed Village itself is only going to get you 6 cards, so like you can only have so much loot in your hand, and you need to be able to find it all kind of like at the right time. So yeah, I'm not actually sure. There's also Cutthroat. There's a lot of loot here. The Cursed Village Storeroom deck does like play nicely against Cutthroat, so that's also a consideration. So the other thing to note here is that Faithful Hound itself can be discarded by Storeroom, and then you can set it aside and get the big hand size at the start of your next turn. Although this is put into your hand at the end of turn. Cutthroat then can attack you, but then you get to do the same thing over again. So it's tricky, because we might want to play Faithful Hounds to be able to draw up loot, depending on how much loot we have. Yeah, that's tricky. We got a 2/5, which is maybe not what we want if we want to get a Moneylender, which we probably do. I mean, we could just go ride Moneylender and then we don't have any risk of collision. So one thing we can consider is just like trying to use that to, maybe we can spike 6 for a Sack of Loot and get some loot early. The plus buy will be useful because there are cheap components that we want to add to our deck, although Storeroom itself also gives plus buy. The other thing we could do potentially is open with a Cutthroat and just like attack immediately, but it's going to be hard to actually activate that Cutthroat, so I don't think I love that. Like that, the single militia attack early, it can do some damage, but it's not really that impressive. I think I'm just gonna go ride Moneylender and kind of see how things develop, and they do go for the Cutthroat. All right, well, okay, well, we did in fact hit 6, not even by playing the horse. We also didn't get Cutthroated on our no estate hand, which is nice. I do think just grabbing a Sack of Loot right off the bat should be good, even if we end up playing with this Cursed Village Storeroom thing, like getting access to the loot early. There's the potential that we pull Prize Goat, We get the plus buy. We just get stuff going. I didn't really talk about Ghost Town much, but yeah, Ghost Town definitely a good card to have in general as well. I think that's probably what we want here. Like, we could take a storeroom already, but we don't really have... I think we want the cursed village before we mess with that, or even just a wealthy village. We haven't been attacked yet. There it is. Okay. They get another cutthroat. Well, I do have a sack of loot, so I guess there's some sense to that. Hammer. Hammer's a good one. Okay, we could go ahead and start in on Cursed Village now. If they're going to be trying to attack us with Cutthroat, that pushes the Cursed Village strategy more, so that's one of the reasons. Go for that. The other thing we could do is go like Ghost Town, Faithful Hound. That also, plays into that. But we're going to need to get the Cursed Villages at some point. And we've got this hammer now to gain the cheaper stuff, so let's do that. Bad Omens. Okay, we lost our moneylender. That's unfortunate. Okay. Could just take a Ghost Town here. Could go ahead and take a storeroom. Probably buying another Cursed Village. Maybe we do need to go ahead and get a storeroom. Yeah, let's do it. Estate into curse. That's whatever. Okay. I would like to keep the moneylender, which I think means we're discarding Ghost Town Estate. And so we have 4 more coppers in those 9 cards. Probably correct to hold on to 1 just to make sure. So discard 2. And unfortunately we didn't see their Curse Village. This is enough for us to hit another Curse Village though, so I think just stick with this. Spell Scroll. Sure. Misery. I don't want that, but oh well. We have not been attacked, which is a little unfortunate. I think we're just taking another storeroom here. And another Cursed Village. Diluted. Not ideal. We can buy Lost Arts, we can buy Ride, we can buy Ghost Town. So it's not too bad. And now we don't have the moneylender. And we are diluted, so getting this Ghost Town, or like getting another Ghost Town could make sense anyway, so maybe we just cycle that out. I think I'll keep the sack of loot, but... I do not want to discard any of this, I don't think. We could discard the Cursed Village, I guess. It's not likely to do too much. I mean, if we draw a copper with the moneylender, we can play... It'll draw a bit, so yeah. Spell Scroll. Kind of forgot I had that. We could consider getting a cutthroat of our own, just because like the bot is not playing with the draw to X stuff. We'd immediately get it back. We'd get to attack. They do have some Faithful Hounds, but that is only mitigating at best. It isn't like making the attack actively bad. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. I think I don't want to trigger this shuffle, probably. Although, we could just storeroom the Cursed Village. What all have we discarded here? Estate, Copper. 2 estates, 3 copper, and a ghost town. Yeah, that's pretty bad stuff to put on top. Staff and sword. Alright. I think I might actually go for Lost Arts on Storeroom. Just make it so that our deck just doesn't care about the order of the card that we play our cards in. Since I mean, I wouldn't if I wasn't deluded, but I am, so. Well, I guess the moneylender still cares. Meh. Okay, do we play the Cursed Village first or the Storeroom first? If we play the Storeroom first, we kind of want to discard these coppers, but we also want to see them with the moneylender. We've trashed 3 coppers, so we only have 2 more coppers in those 17 cards. Yeah. I'll play the Cursed Village first. Okay. Keep this storeroom in hand. Probably. Yeah, probably. Okay. 2 cards in our discard. This is all of our Cursed Villages and all of our storerooms. So if we if we were to just discard everything but Cursed Village, we wouldn't quite get to the end of the deck, so we'd want to hold on to a storeroom. Yeah, I'm thinking once again that triggering the shuffle is probably not the play. Okay, that is what I wanted to see. We even want this ghost town. Oh, you know, I wasn't even thinking about, like, we can do Staff Cursed Village. Hmm. We want to be careful with that, but everything down there, I think, is not an action. So I'm going to draw 4 with this. We need to have 2 cards left in hand. One of them could be the ghost town. The other can be... I mean, it could be this storeroom. We don't really have... I don't get any value from this storeroom right now. We just end actions. So Sword. Sack of loot. Another... Oh, there's the prize coat. Alright, that's good. Take another storeroom. And I think at this point, we're about ready to green. Take maybe one more cursed village first. What did we trashed the storeroom? Okay. But we actually top decked the... Wait, no. Yeah, we top decked some junk. That's not ideal. Alright. Is it a problem that we only have 3 storerooms? Need to buy another one? Unclear. I think I'm just gonna go province ride. Alright, Ghost Town means we can play Moneylender first, which is nice. Guess I'll hang on to the spell scroll. I don't know what I want to do with it. Could just take another storeroom if we end up needing that. Right now, that actually looks pretty good. Go ahead and discard one of these cursed villages, I think. Not likely to need it. 2 cursed villages? I mean, these are all the cursed villages we have. We do also have one more storeroom down there. Yeah, I think so. And that way, if we trigger a shuffle, we have a cursed village. Well, we have 2 cursed villages in there. Alright. Now I kind of want to hang on to this curse so I can trash it with the price code. I guess doing that. I guess we could discard the sack of loot. How much do we care about playing that? Maybe not too much. Yeah, I think we just don't trigger the shuffle. Take another storeroom or another ghost town. Probably another storeroom. And then double province ride. Thank you. We got a sextant. Sextant's nice. Sextant means we can just start triggering the shuffle and not care. Okay. I guess we're just gonna chuck the moneylender. Maybe we just chuck the sword too. Like I said, if we can trigger the shuffle without caring, then it's fine to lose some of that stuff. Yeah, let's just some coins off of this. We do that. To discard stuff into the shuffle, that is a little annoying. Oh well. Alright, we do want to keep this sextant for the reasons mentioned previously. Fine with getting rid of the sack of loot, but the hammer. Ah, we stopped. Okay. All right, that's just double province. Takes a province. Okay. Keep this storeroom. Oh no, man, should we keep this sextant? All we need to do is get 2 provinces, which we can get most of the money from that off of the storeroom stuff, so I think I'm going to discard it. I want to see enough stuff. There's 8 coins already. Keep the hammer now. I think we were already there. Yeah. Oh, we could triple province. I mean, we can't. We could have. Well, that went very well. Better than I expected, actually. Yeah, like, it feels weird having all these treasures in a deck that's just this, like, draw to X kind of thing, but it does kind of work. And I think that it's like having the sack of loot to get, like, some of the good loot, like, I mean, it would have been nice to have the sextant earlier and the prize goat, but, like, the hammer was good. The staff had potential. I may have underutilized it. But we did have a lot of plus actions. But in any case, getting the sack of loot early and then, like, later on being like, yeah, I don't actually need to play this. I think that actually, like, worked out reasonably well, because it's like at a certain point, like I said, you can only have, like, get so much loot into your hand with this anyway. Maybe, like, there was a case for putting some Faithful Hounds into the deck. I didn't end up doing that because it felt like the storerooms were doing good work, and I didn't really feel like I could have necessarily have too many of them. But yeah, maybe some Faithful Hounds would have improved things. But yeah, overall that worked out quite nicely. I don't really know why the bot. I would have expected the bot to do better on a board like this. So it's got a bunch of ghost towns and Faithful Hounds as its draw, and then it's just got a bunch of loot. I mean, it didn't get a moneylender, so, you know, it still has all of its copper. I wouldn't actually necessarily expect that to be, like, a huge problem on this board, though. But yeah, it was really slow to start greening. How many turns was this? 13. So it had 12 turns, and it didn't green until turn 12. Yeah, that's unexpected behavior from the bot, for sure. Let me see what opened Cutthroat Faithful Hound. Well, I guess it managed to hit Ghost Town and then he collided its terminal, so I guess that's fine. But it did shuffle without the Cutthroat in it. Anyway, that's not really probably the most significant thing. Oh, also, how many we ended up trashing 6 coppers. Nice. I've had so many games where, like, moneylender trashes a couple coppers and then it just, like, cannot find coppers. But I guess here with the storeroom, that wasn't very likely. I also didn't feel like I spent much time, like, having to worry about it. There was, like, the one turn where I was like, oh, I better not discard this copper, and that was pretty much it. So Anyway, so yeah, there does get a sack of loot. Ghost Town. One thing about having a bunch of Ghost Towns. I mean, Ghost Town is a good card, but it's good for plus actions. If you're not utilizing those plus actions, then it isn't really doing too much. Like, it does increase your hand size at the start of the next turn, but the cost of decreasing at the previous turn. So, like, if all your deck has is a bunch of Ghost Towns, it's kind of just, like, not really doing anything. The bot did have these Faithful Hounds, but I wonder if part of the problem it was having is that it has these cards for plus actions that then aren't, like, finding enough terminals to justify their own existence, and then you have to, like, draw through the stop cards, like, the next time around, that aren't then maybe providing much value. Is like I'm noticing here, right? Like, the bot hasn't played too many terminals, but it has a bunch of Ghost Towns already. I mean, it may just be doing that as, like, a tempo thing, where it's like when you initially buy the Ghost Town, because it goes to hand, it's better. But yeah, it just didn't have much money in general, I guess. So it's not like it could have bought Province and didn't. It just didn't have that much money. Which I guess at some point I did start attacking it with Cutthroat too. Although that was pretty late on. When was that? Turn 9. Yeah. So here they, like, buy Ghost Town Ride. So they only have 5 coins. Yeah, I don't know. They just aren't really getting anywhere. Buys Ghost Town, Faithful Hound. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also they had all those Ghost Towns, and they only actually didn't have even 4th Faithful Hounds until close to the end of the game. So yeah, I think the bot just wasn't, like, doing a whole lot. It was just kind of spinning. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.